Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Of course, that's neon trees. And how about this? Our next Q101 pop-up at the Cubby Bear is neon trees.
That's going to be awesome.
It's Monday, July 1st. It will. And that's free. The Cubby Bear, our next Q101 pop-up with neon trees, the band you heard right there, for free. It's a 21 and over show. Download your first come, first serve ticket and enter for a chance to win guaranteed entry passes at Q101.com right now. Just make sure you go check it out. Sponsored by our great friends, Modelo.
Okay.
Drink some of that while I'm there. And also sponsored by the Cubby Bear, of course, and Wintrust Community Bank. Again, get there right now because I have a feeling this one's going to get wild on July 1st. That week, everybody's ready to go party, and you got neon trees free at the Cubby Bear. Do it. But it is first come, first serve, so get into it. Time for Head to Headlines with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We give you two headlines, and based on the headline alone, you decide which story we break down and go into. The catch is that we'll never talk about the other story again, so choose wisely on the text line at 312-591-8300. Here is headline number one. A real nutcase. Cold Stone Creamery faces suit over lack of real pistachios in pistachio ice cream.
Is this you, Brian? Are you the main character of that story?
I got to admit.
It's just his headline.
No.
It's his life.
I love pistachios, and I love Cold Stone Creamery. We used your gift card, by the way, last weekend.
Thank you. Was that for Christmas? When did I get you a Cold Stone gift card?
It was my birthday, I think.
It was your birthday. I got you a Cold Stone gift card. Glad to know 6 months later that got put to use.
Well, you got him a gas gift card at Christmas. You're kind of a gift card giver.
I'll take them all day. I use gift cards. I don't let them sit in a drawer somewhere. And we got the cake batter ice cream is the best there. So I don't like nuts in my ice cream.
Hey, that's not what I heard.
Oh.
Well, you like some everywhere else.
So this is not me is what I'm saying in this case. Thank you, Kenzie, for that. So that's headline number one if you want to hear more on that story. A real nutcase. Cold Stone Creamery faces suit over lack of real pistachios in pistachio ice cream. Headline number two, also relating to food. Woman arrested for battering man with a cinnamon roll. Is this you, Kenzie? No,
Hey, Brian and I just brought stories from our weekend. All right, everybody say what happened to him.
These are highlights from the weekend that we do on Monday. So if you want to hear more on that story, text in headline number two, and after Nirvana, we'll break it down and go through them. 312-591-8300, text in headline number one or headline number two. Remember, we will never talk about the other story again.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, head to headlines. This is where we read two headlines, and based on that alone, you text in which headline you want to hear, and then we talk about that story. We will never talk about the other story again, so you have to choose wisely at 312-591-8300. You text in. Here was headline number one. A real nutcase. Cold Stone Creamery faces suit over lack of real pistachios in pistachio ice cream. A lawsuit going on over that. Then headline number two. Woman arrested for battering man with a cinnamon roll. And all the votes came in, and a majority, I believe, Kenzie, want number two.
Cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll. So we'll never talk about Cold Stone's pistachio or lack thereof in their pistachio ice cream.
Well, it's just nutty.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go.
So let's move on with the woman arrested for battering a man with a cinnamon roll. A Florida woman.
Amen.
Had to start there. Was arrested Tuesday night after allegedly striking a man in the neck with a cinnamon roll.
I don't know why it's funny that it's the neck.
Well, also, that's a good shot. Like, a cinnamon roll can't be, I mean, it's like a throwing star. You know, it's...
I would think you'd throw it like a Frisbee.
Maybe it was hot.
Ooh.
Like piping hot.
Yeah.
It burns.
Kinsey, how would you throw a cinnamon roll if you had to throw it at me?
If I was throwing it at you, I'd probably aim for your balls.
Okay.
To be honest.
Let me rephrase the question. Not where you would throw it, how you would throw it.
Oh, what,
At your balls.
You only throw it one way.
Well,
How do you throw things?
He was saying you could throw it like a Frisbee because it's a cinnamon roll or overhand.
I would chuck it.
Okay.
I would chuck it at your balls.
At my balls. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
The cinnamon roll's at my balls. Got it.
Yes.
Noted. And this girl looks like she can throw, by the way, in her mugshot. Cops say Anne-Marie Luna, 37, chucked the food item at the back of the 49-year-old victim's head, striking him at the base of the neck. The cinnamon roll incident occurred at a transitional housing facility in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh, I live near there.
You lived in St. Pete's?
I did.
Did you live in a transitional house?
I did not.
The plot thickens.
Live near a few.
So an arrest affidavit does not reveal a motive for the alleged cinnamon roll attack.
I could probably get there.
What do you think?
I am assuming he left his phone, available for a few minutes.
Oh, and they're dating. He looked on her phone and saw
She
something.
definitely did his phone.
Is that how a cinnamon roll assault always occurs?
Well, because here's the thing. This wasn't premeditated. Because you would choose a better weapon. So it means she saw something really quickly and then attacked him with the nearest object.
Not bad.
It's a crime of passion.
Well, they could have been enjoying breakfast, too.
And then he ruined breakfast.
He ruined breakfast because his phone, or do you have it so your texts show up on the lock screen? You can stop that.
My texts show up on the lock screen. You can. Oh, how do you know that, Brian? How do you know to stop that?
No, you can look at my phone and the text show up. Case, do you have yours so they don't do that?
No, my texts show up. I have nothing to hide.
I think there's a setting where you can. There's a setting where you can make it so they don't show up on the lock screen.
Oh, that's so sketchy. I would be all over that. That wouldn't be allowed in my household.
But Brian, you have that?
No, I've heard of it. I don't.
Oh, you've just heard. A friend has it of yours, but you don't actually do
There's
that.
advice on AshleyMadison.com. There's an advice page.
By the way, put a pin in that.
Oh.
I started watching the Ashley Madison documentary on Hulu.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. I thought it was going to be kind of dumb, and we started watching it, and we haven't finished it
How
yet.
could it be dumb?
Because
How did you not see that and go, well, this is going to be entertaining. It's going to be incredible.
I don't want to get sidetracked and head to headlines, but I just was under the impression that Ashley Madison had a couple 100,000 subscribers. They had 40 million.
Yeah.
40 million. But we'll get to that another day, I promise. Maybe even if I get it done by today, maybe tomorrow at 9 o'clock or some other day, we'll talk about it. Okay, back to Anne-Marie Luna, who possibly threw the cinnamon roll in a crime of passion at this transitional housing facility in St. Petersburg, Florida. No motive. But it was recorded by security cameras. We need that video.
Absolutely.
There's
Case?
I'm on it.
Okay.
Yeah. After being read her rights, Luna, seen at the right here of her mugshot, reportedly admitted to tossing the delicacy.
Can you even get in trouble for that? For throwing a cinnamon roll?
It seems very stupid that they wasted
she admitted
time.
it. I wouldn't think I had to lie about that.
Also, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say I'm a real man, but if someone threw a cinnamon roll at me, I'm not calling the police.
Amen.
Oh, that's not true, Brian. You'd be so quick to dial.
I'm also not daring people to throw cinnamon rolls at me when I leave the station
Picnic
today.
at the Taste of Randolph.
But we're bringing on Sincere Engineer at Picnic this weekend is wave 300 of the arrows coming from Leonidas. Cinnamon rolls are going to come at us.
Well, that'd be a little exciting as long as I catch one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a video game. I wouldn't think, if I did this, I would not think I could get in trouble for it. I would
agree.
be shocked
I
when the
agree.
cops show up. I'd be like, well, this is news to me.
Yeah.
Well, but a cinnamon roll is a weapon.
No, it's not. It's a delicacy.
Okay, fine. You touch a piping hot cinnamon roll and act like it doesn't hurt. And as far as I'm concerned, a weapon is anything that hurts physically or emotionally.
Oh, God. You know he calls the cops about everything. Case is the worst. It hurts me.
Have you ever had have you ever had something thrown at you like a delicacy?
I have, and I don't want to. Breakfast has gone poorly in my life before, and I've had
A bowl of cereal or
I've had some
something?
Eggo waffles launched in my direction, and 911 was at my house immediately.
Well, stop being such a whore.
I can't.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and Lauren is here as well. As
Ahoy.
we get ready for really one of the most important moments on Q101 of the whole year. You've been asking about it for months. By this point, last year, or several years before, we've already announced Riot Fest, the bands. And coming up here in just about 12 minutes at 10 a.m., Riot Mike joins us to talk about an announcement that was dropped last night. We already know, these are things we know, that Riot Fest will not be in Douglas Park this year. It's moving on after 9 years in Douglas Park. Riot Land has been created.
Let's go.
Yeah. He's going to tell us about Riot.
Good riddance, baby. What's going on with Riot Land?
Yeah. Well, we're
Goodbye.
going to find out at 10 a.m. And then the bands also, there's two announcements coming today at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. And Lauren will be on for the 11 a.m. announcement. which will most likely be more on the bands with the 10 a.m., but we're gonna try to get a band or two out of him at 10 a.m.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's you just talk to him a little bit. He's
You know how
loose.
to break him.
Yeah, it's not even that hard.
You know, it's really not.
We can just confuse him and tell him it's 11.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll believe us.
So, tons of important historic information coming up about the best fest in the world, Riot Fest, at 10 a.m. right here. First, let's get some takeaways from today's show before we move on. Case, what do you got?
Adam from the region checked in. He said, if someone texts you the word sure, what they're actually saying is, I hope you die, you piece of crap. So remember that next time you text me,
So
Lauren.
keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for
Just
that.
add an exclamation point, and then it's fine.
There you go.
There you go.
Kenzie, what do you got?
Omar's takeaway, because of Case's little bitch arms, he's the one calling the cops every time somebody throws a honey bun.
Okay, and finally, another takeaway. A lot of good ones today. Matt from 630. My takeaway is Brian needs more hot dogs on his face, and Kenzie needs to be canceled for hating Legos. It's Matt from Glen Ellen. Absolutely, 1,000%.
Dumb.
So what's on the podcast, Case?
Oh, my goodness. Well, so many things are on the podcast today. Most importantly, Kenzie learned who Johnny Carson was and that he has multiple personality disorder. That was discussed in Clash with Kenzie. Also, we have a shocking update on Brian's male friend that he made over the weekend. And if you listen to the Brian and Kenzie podcast today, you will never be able to look at Jabba the Hutt the same way.
I can't. I can't do it.
Well, I had no idea.
Miss a moment, miss a lot. Get your podcast at Q101.com, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get them. And remember, just 10 minutes away, Riot Mike joins us for the Riot Fest announcement.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.